14 years old. His dark circles feel as if he has never slept enough. He doesn't care about his messy black hair since he doesn't like to put too much effort in tying himself up. It's unnecessary. The seat is at the back of the room, next to the window. He always sits there drawing quietly, as it is like everything to him. He doesn't like to socialize with people, making him a lonely one. There was a person being pushed to the floor after school. That's Tom, who is always the victim of bullying. Not because he did anything before, it's just the dislikes of people around him. These things often happen, and Helen is used to it. Though he does feel bad for Tom, he doesn't want to interfere, as it is quite bothersome. During recess, Judy says she's missing her watch as she searches for it. Helen doesn't help her, since it's none of his business.
It was a nice summer day. My 5-year-old son, James, was playing outside in the backyard of our suburban home. James has always been a quiet boy. He plays by himself mostly. He never had many friends. But he's always had a wild imagination. I was in the kitchen feeding our dog Fido when I heard what sounded like James talking to someone in the backyard. I'm not sure who it could be that he was talking to. Could he have finally made a friend? Being a single dad, it's hard for me to always keep an eye on my son, so I decided to go outside and check on him. When I went out into the backyard, I was a bit confused because James was the only person back there. Was he talking to himself? I could have sworn I heard another voice. "James! It's time to come inside!" I called out to him. He came inside and sat down at the kitchen table. It was about lunchtime, so I decided to make him a turkey sandwich.
Saying goodbye then. At least, that's what it sounded like to me. All the way in the car ride home, I had a nagging doubt that the man had said something else. My fears were confirmed when I booted up the game. To my surprise, it worked just fine, and there was one save file named simply Ben. Goodbye, Ben. He was saying goodbye, Ben. I felt bad for the man, obviously a grandparent, and obviously going senile, and I, for some reason or another, reminded him of his grandson, Ben. Out of curiosity, I looked at the save file. Eyeballing it, I could tell that it was pretty far in the game. He had almost all of the masks, and 3/4 remains of the bosses. I noticed that he had used an all statue to save his game. He was on day 3, and by the Stone Tower Temple, with hardly an hour left before the moon would crash. I remember thinking that it was a shame that he had come so close to beating the game, but he never finished it. I made a new file named Link, out of tradition.
Dated back to the 16th century in Germany, featuring a tall, disfigured man with only white spheres where his eyes should be. They called him, Der Grobman, which basically means the tall man. He was a fairy who lived in the Black Forest. Bad children who crept into the woods at night would be chased by the Slender Man, and he wouldn't leave them alone until he caught them, or the child told the parents what he or she had done. Even then, there was this chilling account from an old journal dating around 1702. It's translated from German, so words may be inaccurate. My child Lars, he is gone, taken from his bed. The only thing we found was a scrap of black clothing. It feels like cotton, but it's softer, thicker. Lars came into my bedroom yesterday, screaming at the top of his lungs that the angel is outside.
My name is Mitch. I'm here to tell you guys about an experience I had. I don't know if it was paranormal, or whatever stupid words people use to describe supernatural phenomena. But after that thing visited me, I believe in that paranormal trash now. A week after I moved in with my brother, Edwin, after my house was foreclosed, I finished unpacking. Edwin liked the idea of me moving in. Since we had not seen each other after 10 years, so I was excited too. I soon fell asleep after I moved in. After that 1 week, I heard rustling noises coming from outside at about 1 in the morning. I thought it was a raccoon, so I ignored and tried to fall asleep.